Hi, everybody. I have an update on the Charles Vallow Daybell case. This is going to not happen today. It didn't happen yesterday either, and I'm going to tell you why after this intro. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Rebecca, your host of Crafting and Crime Daily, the show where I recap live trials. Supposed to be recapping the live trial of Charles Vallow Daybell up in Arizona for the attempted murder of Brandon Boudreax. This was supposed to continue with jury selection on Thursday. Now, Thursday, they had it down to 65 people. Those 65 people, based on a questionnaire, they narrowed it down. Those 65 people were told to show up on Friday. They show up on Friday, and Lori is sick. Can't make it to court. So the judge tells this jury pool that due to unforeseen circumstances, Lori will not be able to, just due to unforeseen circumstances. He didn't get into what it was. But he polled the jury to see who could not come back on Monday and why. And based on their responses, he narrowed it down to 54 people and asked them to come back on Monday. So yesterday came, and here comes Lori in a wheelchair. Now, Nate Eaton posted some footage of it's very raw footage. It's just because there were no court TV cameras that everybody gets their footage from in the courtroom. They weren't set up. So you just get the courtroom feed, and which is kind of a Zoom setup. But I'm going to play that for you so you can actually hear what went down live. And it gets really interesting because Lori actually starts crying towards the end. And I mean, I get the feeling that, well, I'll tell you my thoughts after you see this video.
All right, this is the time set for continuing jury selection, State of Arizona versus Charles Daybell, CR 2022-001242. Appearances, please.
Trina Kay, on behalf of the state and for the record, the victim is in the victim room.
All right. Ms. Daybell?
No, in the courtroom, sorry.
Charles Daybell for the defense.
All right, are we ready to proceed with jury selection?
No,
Why not?
I'm sick, Your Honor. I've been sick all weekend. I let my team know yesterday I was sick.
Can you please pull the microphone a little closer? I can't hear you very well.
I'm sick. I've been sick.
Have you put in tank orders to get treatment?
Yes.
Are you being housed in the infirmary?
Nope. I'm housed where they put people in quarantine anyway. I'm housed alone. They would not move me from where I am.
Have they tested you for any communicable diseases?
No.
All right.
You asked me to let my team know. I let them know yesterday at 9 a.m. that I was still
Well,
very ill.
Sometimes we're in positions where we have to proceed when we feel under the weather.
It's not just under the weather. I'm very ill.
Do you have copies of tank orders you put in for treatment?
Not with me. I put it in on the tablet.
Was the DO able to check whether any tank orders were put in?
I can pull down their judge, but I don't know when she put it in.
What's that?
I think it takes about 24 hours.
They haven't even answered my tank order yet. It takes them a long time.
So what symptoms are you having?
I have a terrible headache. I have nausea. I have chills. I have a fever probably. I haven't been able to keep very much down besides broth and oranges.
Would you be willing to have one of your advisory councils complete the 4-year process jury selection?
Would that waive my ability to represent myself for the rest of the trial?
No.
Then can I have a moment to discuss with them for a second?
A couple things. I'm your trial judge. My instructions are to complete your second trial. So even if for some reason your sickness worsened and we weren't able to complete this trial and had to declare a mistrial as this trial, even if this case got delayed into June or July or August to be reset, I'd still be your trial judge. Additionally, last time we did jury selection in your first trial, as I recall, you asked between probably about 5 and 10 minutes of follow-up questions of the panel before we sat the jury. I only mention that in the context of not a lot of it is expected of you at this point in the trial. Depending on how you're feeling later, we could talk about whether the opening statements would have to be further bumped to tomorrow. But I would like to keep this trial on track. So if you want a few minutes to talk to your advisory council, we can do that. Is there anything the state wants to put on the record before we do that?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right. Do you want to do that back in the tank? All right, be at recess for a few minutes.
All right.
Please be seated. All right, we're back on the record. State of Arizona versus Daybell, CR 2022-001242. The state is present. The defendant is present. Ms. Daybell.
I did discuss with my advisory council. They are not comfortable doing that. I do have a right to represent myself. I'm sorry that I'm sick. I did not plan on getting sick. I did not try to get sick. This isn't anything to do with anything other than the fact that I'm incapable of going forward and doing a good job representing myself. I've been incarcerated for over 5.5 years. I've only ever been sick one other time in the whole time I've been here.
All right. State want to be heard?
Judge, obviously, if the defendant is sick and she does have a right to represent herself, we understand that. The concern is the state does need a date certain when we're starting. I have witnesses that I rescheduled already once to fly in this week, assuming we were starting today. I obviously will need to reschedule them again. I can't keep rescheduling them every single day onto a new flight. So I am not sure how we want to proceed at this time. If we want to give the defendant a couple days, see if this jury is available to extend out to the 25th. I know we had originally talked about that and begin on Wednesday. I don't know if she will feel better by then, but that's the only suggestion I have at this time other than starting all over again at another date.
Is there a reason I couldn't proceed with some of the oral voir dire this morning? Because other than introducing herself, she wouldn't be expected to do anything this morning. And that way we can at least get rid of some of the jurors that, for whatever reason, would need to be excused.
Judge, my concern is she's in a wheelchair now.
Well, I would probably ask to have her sit in a regular seat and not be in a wheelchair that says MCSO across the back of it.
Your Honor, I am just not capable of going or even sitting here. I need to be laying down I need to be getting better so that I can go forward and actually represent myself. I hope that I feel better this week and we can go forward. I can't give you any promises. I can't control any of this.
All right, I'll take the state's suggestion and try to salvage this jury in this trial. I'm sure these jurors are going to be none too happy coming down today again for a dry run.
Judge, I do have one other. I don't know if we're able to, and I understand this is Judge Kemp's courtroom. We can start earlier for the rest of the week and next week at 10. Maybe take an hour for lunch. It's just ways to try to.
Yeah, I would be willing to do that. So for Friday, I have nothing else and Judge Kemp has nothing. We could start at 9 on Friday.
And I know we have at least one juror that we will have to excuse who was going camping on Friday.
Juror number 4, I think.
Yeah.
My schedule, we could start at 10 on Wednesday. Let me check Judge Kemp's courtroom schedule. I think he looks like he'll be done by 9:30 at the latest. So I think we'd be safe on telling the jurors to come back 10 a.m. Wednesday, get the jury picked, opening statements done. All right, I think I do need to bring the jurors in to tell them something. So can we have Ms. Daybell sit in a regular chair and not and bring the wheelchair out into the hallway?
Yeah.
I don't think that I can even sit here. I need to go lay down. I don't understand. I don't think, last time you said it was going to be 15 minutes, it was an hour and a half where I was sitting here trying not to throw up on TV in front of the jurors.
Which maybe we could, all of us leave and they could come in and just speak with you.
That's fine.
I've had that happen before where none of the parties are here and the court just advises that we're unable to proceed
Your
today.
Honor, I don't know about you rescheduling this for Wednesday. It puts a lot of pressure on me to be better and ready for Wednesday. And if I'm not, I don't like to disappoint people. I don't like putting people out of their way, all the jurors and all these things, and all the pressure is on me. That's not going to help me get any better anytime soon.
What is your suggestion?
I don't know, but I'm saying so tomorrow, if I'm not better and I let my team know, are you going to drag me in here like you did today with the team that came to get me? Do you know they felt so sorry for me to have to get dragged out of bed to be here?
Yeah, the answer is yes. I probably will order that you be here Wednesday. We'll take tomorrow off. Because I need to confirm how you're feeling. You because you represent yourself, no one else can waive your own appearance.
You're welcome to come over to the jail and come to my cell and see how I'm doing in there.
All right, I'll take a pass on that. All right, with the consent of the parties, then we'll have the parties exit. I'm going to tell the jury we're going to try to get this done on Wednesday. Obviously, that depends on whether the defendant's feeling better or not.
All right, so here are my thoughts. Do I believe she's sick? I don't know. I don't know. You don't know with this woman. You know, she could be looking at you and the sun is shining and she'll tell you it's raining and you believe her because, you know, that's just Lori Vallow. But I know she doesn't like this judge and she wanted him off the case. She moved to have him removed and that failed. But he has been assigned to a new division. He's no longer in this criminal division. But what she doesn't understand is that even though he's going to a new division, he's taking this case with him. I think she thinks that the more she delays this case, she'll get a new judge. And he kind of made it clear during this hearing yesterday, or during this questioning of Lori yesterday, that this was his case. Whenever she comes back, this is his case. So we did see that. And so that's one thought that I had. I mean, let me know your thoughts. Do you think she's really ill? She's only been sick one other time in 5 years. But why don't they get health care in the jail? Now, she's not in prison right now. She is in a jail in Arizona. She was in prison when she was out in Idaho because she's already been convicted of 3 murders out there. But here while you're awaiting trial, you're in a jail, because it's easier to get you out of jail every day and bring you to the courtroom than it is to bring you from a prison. So why isn't she seeing a doctor? That I would say, what do teachers always say? You got a note? You got a note? No, I was sick. Where's your note? Where's your note, Lori? Yeah. Oh, you can come down to the court. You can come down to the jail and visit me. I thought that was hilarious. Are we going to go? Judge was like, I'll pass. That was funny. All right. Let me know your thoughts. Hopefully tomorrow we get this thing underway. Otherwise, we're going to lose this jury pool. They're just, it's just not going to happen. And this is going to be a quick trial. This is just, I don't think the state anticipates having more than 2 days, 3 days tops of testimony, and it'll be over. I think originally they had hoped it would be done by Thursday. Now we can't even get it started. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. And I'll update you, of course. I'll see you then. Bye.